Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. My name is Rich, and joining me once again this week is Bijan. How are you making out?
Yes! 2021 finally here. So long 2020. I am ready to go, my man. Wow. New Year's, I am every single year, Rich, we drink and we have some fun. Bro, this tequila I've got sitting next to me, I am terrified. This stuff smells disgusting.
And I've got some delicious whiskey with me, some Jim Beam Red Stag. It's dark cherry flavored, delicious, and I need it after the past hour and a half that we've spent trying to get, or I should say I've spent trying to get ready to record. I've been
chilling, man.
Issues, but we're good. I'm going to need a few drinks here. So yes, everyone, thank you for tuning in once again. We got a weird one this week. I don't know how we're going to do. We're going to try to cover Sasuke 38, I believe it is. That just happened. At least an overview.
And what a doozy it was. Man, I'm ready.
And we're going to talk about a Netflix series called The Floor is Lava, which was actually a pretty big hit for them this past summer.
Do you know how many people hit me up at work saying, you should be on that show, The Floor is Lava. Have you heard of The Floor is Lava? Instantly, I thought about you. And I'm like, yo, you need to chill, man.
It's different, but it's definitely up our alley. So it seemed like something we should talk about as well. And then the infamous 20 questions we will get to as well.
Bro, okay, for 20 questions this year, for me at least, you better stick with the Ninja All-Stars or something. Because I was sitting there driving today, and I'm like, how many ninjas is at the top of my brain right now? I don't know. It's been a minute, man.
It has.
You know how it's cringeworthy every year for me? It's gonna be real cringe this year.
Yeah, I'm worried this year for sure because, like you said, we usually do it week after week after week. And we did cover, obviously, this past season of A&W, but, oh boy, it is not top of mind all the time now.
Name one new ninja obstacle from this year. We're screwed, bro.
I'm like, Angry Birds? No, that was last year, the year before. Oh, man. And yeah, this is not going to be good.
But look forward to that later, guys. You can cringe with us later, especially when we have all the alcohol in us. It's going to be bad. But yeah. I should just give the disclaimer once again. For the New Year's specials that we do, we will be taking shots of alcohol. For anyone under the age of 21, please, don't drink. And if you are drinking, drink responsibly over the age of 21. We are not here to make alcohol look cool or whatever, anything like that. We're just, doing our thing. So there you go.
Yes, the disclaimer is good. I don't think the part about it not being cool, I think that'll be evident by the end of this whole thing. So
yeah.
That being said, we should probably kick it off with a shot, and then we can get into the episodes.
Let's do this. Oh my God, what am I drinking? What is this called? Espolon. I'm butchering whatever it is. It's tequila and it's disgusting. All right. Salud. Oh my God.
Whew.
Okay. No chasers. Like usual, I don't chase. I'm not trying to act cool. It's just something I don't do. And that was gross. All right. So what are we talking about first, my man? Are we talking about Sasuke or are we talking about Floor is Lava?
You sound
what are we feeling?
Very, very game to get into Sasuke. And I
Bro.
Full disclaimer, I didn't see the whole thing. I did glance over it, and I've, obviously heard some of the things that happened. So I'll let you take the lead on it, and I will just try to weigh in where I can.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go run by run or anything like that.
Oh God, no!
Ain't nobody got time for that. But I gotta say, first off, I feel like I hit this every single year, Rich. But my God, it takes me like a few runs to get into it of realizing, oh my God, this show is getting more and more different from A&W every single year. And I should say it's more like A&W is getting away from this.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
the ultimate like obstacle for Sasuke is the clock, right?
It always is, yeah. That's especially like there is a huge difference because we don't really tend to have people run up against the clock all that much in A&W anymore, right? Like that's supposed to be the big thing, and especially in the first round.
Yeah. Like, I think it's like 90 seconds for both stages 1 and 2. I could be wrong, but it's like a really short period of time that you're given. And I don't know, like the obstacles I wouldn't say are anywhere close to as difficult on stages 1 and 2 in Sasuke as it is on A&W, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it gives a little bit more of approachability, you know. Even though there are all-stars, I feel like Sasuke is a little bit more of like the everyman, you know, trying to run a crazy obstacle course. But in lieu of that, there are some crazy ninja killers, but more than anything else, it's this not endurance test, but like the speed run, you know? If you screw up on one thing, you only have a very short period of like window to basically get through the rest of the obstacles. So it's always this I don't know, this like really tense situation where people are just sprinting through this thing trying to get through it. And that was really evident in stage 2. But I mean, I'm not going to go through all the obstacles. Basically, stage 1 was the same as stage 2. Like, you know, some very easy, or not easy, but like mid-level obstacles. But one crazy thing is they've got basically the, what is it? I think it's called the Double Dipper, right, Rich?
Yeah, they call it the Dragon Glider, but it's basically the Double Dipper.
Yeah, that thing's dope. And that was like the big ninja killer for everyone. Like, it's everybody going through the motions and then the Double Dipper. If you can get through it, you basically have the warped wall and then you're done.
I think some of the big stories that I saw, like I was looking at some of the conversations that happened around this tournament, and I'm going to screw up some of this, but we have to talk about Makoto Nagano.
Makoto Nagano, come on, man. You got to put some oomph on that. That is the GOAT.
Coming out of retirement for this one, and it was filmed during COVID, right? Like that's the part of this too. They did it as safely as possible. There's all kinds of things in place.
I had it was very weird coming from an American perspective with masks and everything, or at least in California. I can't speak for. Let's just say I went on my honeymoon, and there are states where masks aren't as much of a thing,
right?
But unfortunately, they got like these clear things where it's not really covering anything. It's kind of just like covering your mouth. Like that was interesting. That said, my half Japanese wife will be real quick to say, well, is COVID really a thing in Japan right now? Because, you know, they actually... Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But, yeah, they had some sus masks that, you know, interesting. Not really covering much.
But, yeah, that was a big thing. And I don't know how many of these were coming back that aren't normally there, but there were 4 All-Stars there, I believe, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every year they retire, and then, you know, a few of the, you know, old school all-stars come back. They still need the star power, you know?
Right. The reason I brought it up was because 3 out of the 4 of them fell on the Dragon Glider. That's how bad that was for as a ninja killer.
Yeah, and it sucked to see because, in particular, the main reason, and it's kind of, I don't know, they need to move on. I feel bad saying that, but like most of the advertisements were showing Mr. Sasuke, Katsumi Yamada, and Makoto Nagano, who's the GOAT. It was like the main fixtures of like they're coming back out of retirement. Makoto Nagano, yes. Really, Mr. Sasuke? When's the last time? Like, I'm not trying to hate on this guy, but like, really?
Right.
But that said, I mean, really, there's Yusuke Morimoto and Yuji Urashihara back in the season as well. I think they might have been in the season previously, but like those are the new top level ninjas. They've been for a while. You know, Yuji won twice. Yusuke Morimoto we'll get to if he wins twice or not, but he's the last person that was a grand champion. So it's like, why aren't they putting the booster rockets behind them? They should really get the prime time with, like Makoto Nagano, sure. But like they should be front and center also.
Yeah, it's always a thing with ANW as well, right? Like it's always trying to balance that. You want to keep the old school fans happy, and you want to show respect to the old timers, which ANW fails at a lot of times. So it's like I don't really want to get down too bad on Sasuke for really keeping that focus on those that have been around and helped build the sport from the beginning. So I think there's a balancing act, and sometimes they can kind of teeter one way or the other.
And another thing is that it's a completely different culture, I mean, this is coming from an American cultural perspective. Japan may very much have a different perspective with all this. Maybe the old school ninjas are way 100% more of importance, They, like, if you watch the whole thing, Mr. Sasuke every season is just always front and center everywhere. And I'm like, buddy. Time to move on.
But there's people that say that with like Grant McCartney and stuff too, right? Like where it's like all the screen time goes to some of those ninjas that, Grant does pretty well, but he's not top of the leaderboard most of the time either.
Yeah, but Mr. Sasuke is 55 years old. I'm just saying, there's a difference.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We should point out, you mentioned with the obstacles, some complaints. I mean, seems like most people really like this tournament overall, but some complaints that it didn't really change, right?
It's very much the same. But I must say, I would prefer things to change in stages 1 and 2. We'll get to it, but stage 3, I really like what stage 3 was. All
right, so not much to say about stage 1. Like I said, I think you covered it. Dragon Glider.
Just that Makoto Nagano and Mr. Sasuke built up 100%, but they fell in the Dragon Glider. Sucks that happened, but my men, Yuji Urushuhara and Yusuke Morimoto, the 2 grand champions that are the dopeness, they passed, and I was so psyched. They are so amazing. There were also some, I forget just who they were, but there was people from last season that were really standouts. And God, what is the guy's name? I forget, but there was some of that like made it really far last year that passed also. And I was like, all right, I got to keep my eye out on him. But yeah, stage 1, when it comes to Sasuke, we're just going to pass because there's so many names and everything. Stage 2, bro. Let's get going. This is where stuff gets real.
Well, stage 2, they had the rolling log, I think it's called, to kick it off.
Rolling log, salmon ladder, spider walk, spider drop, which is, going up and down the spider, climb thing. But they have the backstream, which we always say is like amazing, like this pool thing, water jet, swimming across. Which in years past, this was like a big ninja killer. It really didn't seem like a big issue this year. I wonder if it was the same and ninjas just got used to it, like trained for it, or if they nerfed it.
So since I've seen it, so every time I've seen it, it hasn't been an issue really. It's like always been. It was visually cool to me, and it was funny to hear those that watch us every year get that perspective from me as someone new, where it wasn't like old. I was like, oh my god, they have water and they've got to swim. Like this is amazing. This is so cool. Whereas everybody was kind of over it by that point. I've been watching it every year.
It was a problem when it was first introduced, but yeah, I think it's just the same, but they're used to it. But it really is a 1-2 punch because the conveyor belt.
Right.
Why don't you describe this? Like every year, it's kind of weird to describe it basically. Well, why don't you explain it?
Well, imagine you had to climb up on the conveyor belt at like a grocery store and go against it. Except
or like a treadmill.
Up way up. Yeah, like a treadmill.
Yeah, like you're crawling against a treadmill, right?
Yeah, and there's not... I've never really quite gotten the rules around it, right? Like they're supposed to stay on the treadmill. You see their feet kind of go off and like kind of like... There's like a narrow ledge along the sides that'll kind of help boost them along a little bit, but... It's just gotta like speed through it, but they're wet. They're soaking wet. They just got out of this other obstacle, and it's kind of a mess. But Yeah, time tended to be a factor at times.
A factor?
Yeah.
It was the Ninja Killer.
Yeah.
None of these obstacles are impossible. Like, a lot of these obstacles we're used to seeing. It was the time limit. there was very rarely people like, oh, I can't do a salmon ladder, or I can't do this or that. It was a lot of people failing with like half a second left. The time was a huge factor. Just looking at it, the time limit was set to at 105 seconds. So roughly about like it was 1 minute and 45 seconds if I can do math correctly, which I can't, but I think that's about right.
That's right.
It was rough, man, because there's so many people failing with like, they're jumping for the buzzer and then it rings and then they hit the thing. It sucks, but hey, it worked, and the tension was really there because like if a person even screws up on one little ledge on the salmon ladder or isn't going through the spider climb very quickly, like you're just like screaming at the screen, being like, "Go, go!" I loved it, man.
Yeah, from what I understand, the biggest factor, or at least a lot of people seem to feel that the factor was the rolling log, that ate up a lot of time for people. And made them dizzy, so they were trying to recover before getting on the salmon ladder, which screwed some people up on the salmon ladder, including some big names.
I kind of liked seeing the rolling log, maybe as like an old school dude. Like, I don't know, like it's been a while since I saw the rolling log, and it was kind of cool to see that.
All right. Any more you want to add on stage 2?
Just out of like how many people here? Like there was
oh god,
man, there was a lot of people that made it to stage 2. There was only 5 that made it past stage 2.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Well, that's fairly typical though, right? That's a good number. Like that's all I ever really want going into stage 3, right? Like just a handful, half dozen's great.
Yeah, but man, it broke my heart. I screamed, I cried, I cried again. I had to seek inner peace and everything. Yuji Urushihara timed out by less than a second on this damn stage 2. It was painful, bro. Painful. Because that is my man, dude. Oh well. I just wanted to see him go for stage 3,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 3-peat, right? Is it going to be possible someday? But I mean, time's ticking, right? He's not a spring chicken anymore, neither am I. It just happens.
I was pretty shocked. This dude is 42 years old. He looks like he's like in his 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew he was up there. I wouldn't know he was 42. I thought he was late 30s. Man, 42. That's impressive, though, to get that far and still do that well.
Yeah, man. I'm 32. I can't make it that far, so props to you, bro.
All right, before we start stage 3, I think we better do another. Yeah,
let's pour one out for Yuji over here, man.
Yes, that's perfect. Let me know when you're ready. I got mine.
All right, let's do it.
All right, cheers.
God. All right.
Mine was a great choice. It's kind of sweet. It's not bad.
I hate you. Let's just move on.
I'll have to send
you
a bottle.
Like, I have so much wine at my place, and I wanted to do wine, but it's like, how can I reasonably take a shot of wine? Like, I'm not that lame. Only other option was this, and it's terrible. All right, stage 3. So this is where I'm interested, because so far, like, and I totally understand the criticisms that, the chorus is exactly the same. Stage 3, the same also. I don't remember if they basically, stage 3 is exactly the same with a flying bar, the little sidewinder thing. I don't know how to describe these. Like,
yeah, I don't. Think
but basically, what really matters for stage 3 is that there is this crazy cliffhanger called the cliffhanger dimension, which is like 3-part cliffhanger where it moves. It like there's different like there's all these like moving like parts of it, and it's actually really cool visually. Now, if I remember correctly, in some years past, it it would go straight from the cliffhanger into the vertical limit, which is like the craziest thing I've ever seen, but without any resting period. Is that right, Rich? They'd usually like just go straight from one to the other, right?
Yeah, I feel like it did. Like I think we complained about that. It was like, come on, you can't give them a second to like gather themselves before they continue on.
Yeah, so I am all for what happened here, which is after the cliffhanger dimension, there is actually this little like hanging bar thingy where they can sit and rest for a second, and I am so happy for it. And then they can go on to the vertical limit, and the vertical limit is literally like a centimeter like wide of your pinching with your fingertips and your thumb, and it just gets narrower and narrower, transferring between 3 different areas. I'm terrible at describing it, but y'all just gotta look at it. It's insane. And yeah, like nobody was able to do it except for my man Yusuke Morimoto. I'm telling you, bro, this guy is on his way to be the GOAT. Like, if
he
you
really
think
is.
Yuji and Makoto Nagano and now Yusuke Morimoto, if you look at their track records, I mean, man, Yusuke is really creating a name for himself. And the craziest part, he's only 29. He's still in his 20s.
Yeah, he's been setting records for a while. I mean, yeah. I'm very impressed with him. We've seen him in previous years. For those that don't follow this, and I feel bad because I know some people that probably didn't watch it and are waiting for us to kind of move on topics. If you're not familiar with who these people are, it can drag a little bit. But I want to say Yusuke Morimoto, we've seen him compete against the best of ANW, right? We've had competitors, some of the best who will go unnamed, that have been there and not able to keep up with him. He is absolutely amazing.
Let's just say no American has ever completed the current version of Stage 3.
Yeah, it is incredibly tough. It is not we talked earlier, we almost downplayed like the difficulty of the course by saying that it is kind of geared towards the everyman. Not stage 3.
Stage 1.
Not stage 3 at all.
Not stage 3.
We actually, and when you talk about moving, I feel like it bears repeating. So, for those that aren't familiar with it, the cliffhangers are moving up and down by like several feet. Like, imagine, you know how difficult the cliffhangers are normally. We're talking like crazy difficulty levels with these things moving up and down. And I love it. The cliffhangers are amazing.
And while it's moving up and down, you have to jump across twice, and you know, like in a 180. But also, I got to point out that Yusuke Morimoto, for you guys that may not remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. He was the first person to ever complete Stage 3 in American Ninja Warrior on the the World's series.
The
I think
USA
it was the
versus
first
World,
version
yeah.
of it.
I think you're right. I always think it's Yuji, but I think you're right. I think it was Morimoto that did it.
Yeah, it was Yusuke. I'm pretty sure he was the one, because he's really known for his like crazy rock climbing type things. This dude's amazing. And going on to that, just to speed through, finally, we are on to Stage 4. And what do I always say about Stage 4 in ANW, Rich?
You're saying that a rope climb isn't the most exciting way to end $1 million competition? Like, I don't understand why you would complain about that.
Why don't you describe this glorious Stage 4 that they have in Sasuke?
For some reason, Sasuke feels the need to test the Ninja Warrior's multiple skills. Like,
wow.
For whatever reason, they think that it'd be more exciting to watch someone do a spider climb into a salmon ladder into a rope climb. Like I don't know the heights, but they're like 20, 30 feet of each. It is absolutely amazing. It is everything that the American one should be.
Yes.
Totally agree. Their Stage 4 totally kicks butt.
It's amazing. And that salmon ladder is no joke.
Oh my God. It was so big.
Like I felt so bad for this guy.
Like, how long is this thing? Like, is this the mega ladder or whatever? That's the skills competition one? Because it was huge.
It wasn't just huge, it was so high up. Like, they were, like, flying up. Like, the spider climb has got to be, like, the length of, say, like, the finals, like, the city finals course, right?
Yeah.
Like, super high up. And then the salmon ladder is, like, the same length of that length, right? And it just keeps going. And you're like, dude, you've got, like, the whole thing is 45 seconds. And you're just looking at the clock running down. And you're like, how is this guy ever going to do it?
Yeah.
And he looks so exhausted. Like, the guy had to, like, fight for all of his life to get up that last rung. And then you look at it, and he's got, like, another, like, however many feet doing a darn rope climb. This is what it should be. He's completely worn out, different elements of his body, showing off, you know, his prowess of his skills, like you said. It was amazing, and you had to just see the determination and the grit that this guy had to do that rope climb.
Pain.
And he
I think
not
the word
only
for
did
there
it,
is pain. The pain on his face.
yeah, but he did it, and he did it with 2.5 seconds to spare, and it wasn't like he was like slightly down and he like lifted his arm up in that circular pad and like hit the buzzer. Like, he climbed all the way up, looked over to the side, he's like, oh, there's the buzzer, and then hit it. Like, this guy is amazing. I love Yusuke Morimoto, and he did, in my opinion, the best version of a Stage 4. I loved everything about this, and this is how it should be. And I am so glad we have a new Ninja Warrior Sasuke Grand Champion that, once again, so deserving of the title. And yeah, there are now 2 people that are 2-timers for Grand Champion. I forget the name of what they call it. I cannot pronounce that. Kanzen.
Something.
Well, if you guys look up the yeah. All I gotta say is Yusuke Morimoto joins Yuji Arashihara, and I must say Yusuke's battle to the championship I think is even more impressive. Not to discount Yuji's accomplishments, but man, Yusuke is amazing.
Yeah, he's got a couple more in him. Like, it really wouldn't be that surprising to see him do it again. And one thing I didn't realize, and I always cringe saying these things because I don't know, I didn't fact check this, but from what I understand, there's been some talk of almost a curse of that number 100, which we didn't get into the numbering scheme, which I still love. I wish they would do it in ANW, but he managed to do it with the number 100, which has been kind of a thing hanging over it for a while, that nobody with the number 100 was able to do it, but he was.
I never. Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't think. I mean, I would have to look back at like Yuji when he did it the second time, if he was number 100 or not. But yeah, that's a good point. And hey, my man, once again, he's just awesome. But I'm so curious, if there is one thing that's always remained consistent, is that once somebody completes Stage 4 in Sasuke, they completely redo. I shouldn't say completely, but for the majority of the entire all stages, the entire course of Sasuke is redone. And I'm really curious of what they do next year.
Did they hold to that last time? Did it get switched around a lot?
I think so. Watch now, we're gonna get a million emails being like,
yeah,
they did the same. But
they haven't done that since Sasuke 23. What are you talking about?
But for at least in the olden days, it was like a common thing where if somebody completes it, like they don't change it up as much as they do ANW, so therefore people can train. They want people to win, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they want people to win.
They're not giving out $1 million, right? So
yeah,
it helps.
Yeah, they're not. I forget how much they win, but it's definitely not $1 million. But once they win, they just go crazy with changing things up.
I wish they would do that on AEW. I was so disappointed with season 8. Like, an old wound opened up like 4 years ago. They really didn't change a whole lot. Like, after Jeff and Isaac won, I was like waiting for this whole massive change. It didn't really happen.
I must say this, though. I was happy these past few years where they are doing a lot more new stuff, and the creativity with a lot of the obstacles in A&W is 100% great. And that is one weak point of Sasuke, where, you know, if it is once a year, like it's been for the past few years, I mean, you kind of do want some new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they think the most genius thing AEW has done in the last few years is entering this contest where people can submit their own designs. It's like, yeah, why not crowdsource it? Like, we'll send in stuff and ideas, and you can use them. It's great.
Yeah. Just one note. Jessie Graff. I almost said Casey Graff for some reason. Jessie Graff. She was in last year, and she actually made it to Siege 3. And I was really excited to see if there were going to be any foreigners in this season. But it took me a second, but then it made sense. There weren't any real foreigners this season, but that's because of COVID.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, Japan basically were like, borders closed, nobody getting into this country right now, this like pretty much the entire year. So that's probably what happened. And I'm hoping that we see Jessie and a few other foreigners next year.
Cool. So that is Sasuke 38.
It was dope, man. I've been speaking this whole time. What, like, from the highlights that you saw, how'd you feel? What were your reactions? Just overall,
it was pretty cool. I wish I had watched the whole thing. I actually wasn't able to find it. You had sent me a link, and others had as well. But their TBS has been like very strict this year, I guess, on taking things down. So I wasn't able to locate the full thing. I had to go with a bunch of different clips and summaries and things. So I'll still try to check it out once I can.
Yeah, if you guys can watch it, it was really great. There was a lot of drama. Man, a lot of people cry in this show. Not show your tears, show your emotions, but it's pretty striking. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm upset. It's like bawling, crying, and I'm just like, whoa, okay. Like, live your best life, but it takes some time getting used to. Like, every person that falls, bawling, crying.
I find it not the complete opposite, but I find it funny how there's joke competitors, basically, right? There are people that fall early on in stage 1 that everybody laughs. It's just a good time. It's like nobody cares that they fell.
Yeah.
ANW does not have that, right? Like, if it's Joe Schmo from wherever running and nobody expects them to complete the course, still everybody's upset when they fall. It's never like, ha ha ha, how did you see the way he fell? Like, it's never taken very lightly.
Yeah, one thing that also, just looking at the list from Sasukepedia, there's a lot of comedians and impersonators and things like that. Like, right. I feel like they're leaning really heavily into like known performer, actor type, personalities, which begs the question. I'm wondering if they've really gone away with a lot of, like the everyday Joe Schmoes being on these specials, because they only get 100 competitors. It's like America, where we get like everyday people. So that could be a big bonus for AEW, and not here, where, looking at it, man, a lot of actors and comedians.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could be playing into it. I don't know what their goal is ultimately. They've been on air for quite a long time now. At this point, it's kind of cool that they're still going.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, we have something new coming up. Floor is Lava, which I will be honest, zero interest in watching. When I first heard about it, I kind of laughed it off. But then I kept hearing things, and I kept thinking, I got to go back and watch that at some point. And then when we were planning our New Year's episode, I'm like, you know what? Perfect opportunity. Let's check it out. And then, because it really would be one of those things that we would end up covering normally if we were doing our weekly episodes.
I mean, it sure would be. I don't know how much I would love it.
So before we start that, I'm already feeling manly shots. Whew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dang.
We should do one more.
Shots, man. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
we'll see how I feel tomorrow at work. Like, I'm probably going to be at my desk being like, yo, nobody talk to me right now. But
I should point out that I had one just before we started, too. So that's probably not the best idea.
I did not, and I'm glad I didn't. This tequila sucks. All right.
All right. Salute.
Salute.
All right.
I both look forward to and dread the moment where I stop tasting it and it tastes like water. It's both pluses and minuses,
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely not there yet, though. Wow.
So, The Floor is Lava, for those that don't know, is a Netflix series. Kind of a hit this past summer in the reality TV show segment. Um, it's basically what it sounds like for those that have played that game as a kid, where you say the floor is lava and you try to stay on the couch and jump to the chair, and that's basically what they took and made it into a show. It's this weird combination of ANW and Ultimate Beastmaster with all the weird colored water.
I would say if what Ultimate Beastmaster is to ANW, Floor is Lava is the same to like Wipeout. I feel like they're going far more into the fun hijinks, comedy factor than necessarily like this is a competitive show, blah, blah, blah,
It is not ultra competitive. It is for $10,000, I believe. 3 teams of 3 have to navigate a room that is filled with red water, ultimately, jumping from thing to thing. So overall first impressions before we get into like any of the nitty gritty here. I know you weren't keen on watching it. How did you actually find it?
Yeah, I wasn't keen on watching it, which is interesting because once again, everybody brought this up over the summer, being like, "You should go on this show, Bijan. You're very goofy and weird and blah blah blah, and you'd be great for the show." And I'm like, "All right, cool." I thought it was wacky and zany, and I feel like if I was a lot younger, like a kid, I would absolutely love this show. Right now, currently, it was a lot of eye rolling, only because, at least for the first episode, a lot of the personalities on it. I thought the premise and everything about it was perfectly fine. It took a second because I was going into it being like, all right, let's see how competitive it is and everything. But it took me only about like 5 minutes to realize, like, all right, this show is not really focused on, will they be able to climb this particular pyramid and then make a 5-foot leap to this weird thingy on the ground? Like, it's more of how goofy are they going to be falling or trying to do it, and what are they going to say? So it was fine.
It's funny because I had no idea what your take was going to be on this thing, because it really could have fallen either way. I felt like, because you appreciate good personalities and keeping things entertaining. There were some cringy moments in episode 1 for sure.
No.
I'll be honest, I liked it enough that I started watching episode 2.
Does it get better?
No. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's more of the same. I might be in for the whole season. I'm gonna see. I might keep picking away at it.
From what I saw of the episode titles, do they change up the course?
I have no idea.
Because it looks like they changed the titles. I forget, but like one was, I forget the names of it, but it sounds like at least they changed like the obstacles and the titles or the course itself. But going into it, I gotta say, it gave great drama because where's my bell? I need my bell. Oh, here's my bell. Oh my God. For everybody that watched season 1 or episode 1, the triplet guys or whatever, the bros.
I figured.
Shame. Shame. Oh my God, were they insufferable. They were awful. I hate them. I don't know them. But if I see them, I'm going to tell them in their face, I hate you. I hate your guts.
Now, that's not fair.
No. I don't care. I hate them. They are horrible human beings. Usually we say, like, oh, bless their hearts. I'm sure they're great people in real life and everything. No, I hate them. I don't know if it's the alcohol time, but I hate them. They made me sit there for 10 minutes listening to their awful jokes. I'm telling you guys, the jokes they said were so bad. Like, at one point, like, some weird painting thing that they were trying to walk on falls, and they're like, oh, well, who cares about art anyways? It moves on. I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah, it didn't come across great, I will say. But I appreciated the effort from those guys. They were trying to keep it entertaining. I could tell it was a little forced, I think, if I was going to criticize anything.
There are levels, man. Yeah, there are levels, and they went so far in the forced category that it was cringeworthy and painful. it's like they couldn't stop trying to say a joke or saying something to be entertaining. And you have to be genuine to make it funny, like comedy. You can't just force that. You have to have good timing. You have to, say it at the right moments. It was just constantly saying just the most cringeworthy, usually just annoying things ever. And I don't know if their role was to be the villains, but my God, were they the villains, bro. I hated them.
So I'll do my nitpicking here to begin with, too. The thing that I didn't like about it, pretty typical for me in these types of things, is like, just don't lie to me, right? I'd rather just know the reality. Don't give me these forced things. Don't tell me. I guess they don't say it outright, but isn't the impression to you like they're supposed to be walking in there and discovering things for themselves when they're clearly not?
Yeah.
They're not.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right? They're constantly like pointing out things that there's no way you could possibly know. It's like, okay, we got to tip that thing over, right? To me, it looked like you had to jump to it, right? Like, I'd rather them discover the hard way that you're not supposed to jump to that thing, that it actually falls over. Like, little things like that annoyed me. Whereas, like, okay, just say they were given an overview of the course, or I don't know how you make that clear. Like, they know when they walk in there that there's a staff on the wall that they have to put into the slot. Every time someone picked up that stupid staff and was like, oh, look, a hole we can put it into. It's like, shut up. You know it goes in the hole.
I mean, you're not wrong, bro.
Those things annoyed me. But the show, the actual competition and the competitors, I was actually pretty good with. I liked this, like, weird. It actually kind of funny that we're covering with Sasuke. I almost felt like, in a way, it goes back to that original idea of the everyman running a course. These are not athletes. These are, generally speaking, they might be a little bit more fit than your average person. Or maybe they're right in that wheelhouse. Because I'm not the average, right? So, like, I don't know. They look fit to me. But I feel like they're closer to average.
If there's a season 2, you and I have to get on this show. Bro.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine? Like, you're going to be, like, at the top of the pyramid being like, I can't make the jump. I'll be like, you better get on that jump. Rich, don't you screw me. Don't you do it.
I'd be calling out all their BS. I'm like, so now, since they told me I have to put this in this hole, I'm going to stick it in here. Yeah.
You're going to be that guy. Just ruin it.
Yeah, just like, I have to constantly edit footage because I'm going like, okay, I have to take this route because one of the 3 has to go this way, right? Like, I feel like that was a rule that they had that they didn't tell us, right? There's only 3 rules, and maybe this 4th rule we're not telling you, where someone has to take this route that doesn't actually help in any way, shape, or form, but everybody seems to go that way.
Oh, dear Lord. So I've been on the hate train, just stalking, like, who are these triplets? Yo, they are stand-up comedians.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hate away then. I feel like that makes it warranted.
Yo, they got a
podcast.
Job, I'm not going to call out their podcast or anything, but yo.
They have a podcast?
Bless your guys' hearts. Oh, man. No, you couldn't pay me enough to listen to. Oh, man.
Oh, God. I didn't mind the beginning. I will say that at the start, they're interviewing and they're talking about their hairlines and stuff. I thought that part was fine.
No, it wasn't. They were terrible. I'm like, I hate you. Like, who are you? They talking about how good looking they are and everything. With their receding hairlines. Like, get out of here.
Maybe you have to relate to it. I don't know.
Bro, I'm bald. I can't relate to receding hairlines because
right.
I don't have a hairline.
You have hair. So. Get out of my screen. No, the show itself, I do feel like it loses a lot of the athleticism we're used to, right? Where it's like you got to jump across these 4-foot gaps into these slightly awkward things. It's not really as physically as impressive as what we see on ANW or Sasuke or Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there, so I feel bad because what I definitely learned in my time at ANW, and I'm sure anybody that's been to the tapings have seen, things on TV look a lot smaller than they are in real life. Like,
right.
Yo, ANW obstacles are massive in real life. So it could be that, like, these gaps, these transitions, these things that they're doing are a lot harder than it seems. But at least in like this small room where everything's very compressed together, it doesn't look that drastic of a big deal, in my opinion. How'd you feel?
It did look undoable. It looked approachable enough for your average person, but I took these as average people, so I was fine with that. It didn't bother me. I was like, I didn't feel like they were playing it up. So the drama was real to me, where it was like, okay, they're legitimately scared to jump across this thing, not sure if they can make it or not.
Yeah. So there were two other teams, and we should get to them because actually they were actually really cool people. I liked both the other two teams. There was one that was like a group of pastors, and I found it really funny because like there was one dude that was like really excited to go, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got 2 children and everything, but they're not on my team." And then the 2 people on the team just sitting there, just looking like they could be anywhere else. And I'm like, "Yeah, so like, why are we here, huh?"
He signed us up without telling us.
Yeah, I just love that because that is so much a thing that like, you know, I would do, or like somebody that's like super enthusiastic for an event would do.
Right.
It brings me shades, honestly, to, let's just say, I've done Spartan races multiple times, like probably over a dozen times now. 3 of those Spartan races were with my brother, who, let's just say, never at any point ever had any intention of doing it.
Right.
So, you know, it brought shades of that. Sometimes there's that one guy or person that just is like, we're doing this, and I don't care what you feel.
And I kind of related to the first. That's funny you say that, because I was thinking I really like the mother with her 2 kids, 2 teenage kids doing it. They were twins, boy and a girl, and I thought that was really cute. She was talking about like them going to college, and you know they can have the money, they just have to call her or whatever the little criteria you have to follow her on Facebook or friend her on Instagram and everything. So that was all kind of cute. But
yeah,
I like the dynamic of them on the course more than their interview, I guess.
Yeah, and I like the way that some of these teams work together. Like, other than the triplets, who are just terrible human beings, the other 2 teams were working together. They're talking it out, trying to figure things out. Like, yeah, they kind of had an idea of what to do, but it was still like, you know, like, hey, pass it over here. What do you think? You know, and I really liked the camaraderie, I guess.
I would have been cool with them like just being upfront with someone, because there is stuff to still figure out, even if they know that the staff has to go in the poll or whatever. Like, they have to figure out their plan as they're looking through the room, and I feel like that part was legitimate, where they're like trying to say, okay, now I'm stuck here. This is really slippery. Like, I'm not sure what to do. The course itself was interesting and presented a number of challenges. And at first, I laughed out loud. I actually rewound it and called my daughter over to see it at the foolishness of when they go in the lava. Like, we have to talk about it. That once they go into the lava, it's like, I think there's a rule that they have to submerge their head. It seems like they go out of their way to make sure that their head goes under, and then you don't see them again. Like, once they go under, it's like they died, and the other people call out like, no! Like,
yeah,
very
it's
dramatic.
like a Terminator 2, right? Like when the Terminator just falls, slowly sinks into the lava. It's pretty bad, and that's pretty goofy. And another thing is they'll like barely hit themselves, like jumping from one thing, like hit their chin or something, and they replay it like 5 times in slow motion.
They do. I didn't mind that. And I kind of the lava thing grew on me. It carries on to the next episode. It just made me laugh each time, because the person yelling is smiling like oh no,
yeah,
like, don't go.
It's dumb, but in a fun way, and you can either like roll your eyes or go with it. And I feel like it's the more you see it, the more you go with it.
Yeah. Now I shouldn't have watched part of the second episode, because I feel that was actually the other one.
Well, I can tell you about this favorite part of this episode, and I keep going back to the triplets. I mean, hey, it's good to have a villain, because man, they stood out to me of how much I hated them. Favorite part of the episode. So the final like transition thing is where you have to hold on to like this netting, right, with barrels attached to it and everything. But basically, you're holding on to netting while the other person cranks a little lever and slowly like brings you over to like a gap or an area where you have to jump to, right?
Yep.
These terrible human beings. Basically, the first guy like gets on, and being the grade A D-bag that he is, well, I should say before even that, the previous family, they're struggling. The mom's holding on, and the son's like, "You do Pilates, you can do this, Mom. I love you." And it's goofy, but it's fun, and you can see she's really struggling and holding on, and I like that, right? This guy, when this guy's on, he jumps on, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a bro." And he just starts doing pull-ups, right? And even though the announcer's like, "All right, well, I hope he, I hope he knows what he's doing," or something, because even like the announcer's like, "Bro." And sure enough, just the grade A, most beautiful moment of my life, it feels like, is where everything in my being just wanted this guy to fail. And he finishes doing his stupid pull-ups, and then he gets tired. And then he realizes that, oh, this netting isn't going to stop right underneath the ledge that he needs to jump to. He actually needs to jump the gap. And all of a sudden, he no longer has the strength to swing and jump the gap. And he falls not only into the water, but he lands on his like stomach on that ledge into the water. And I was just so happy with life.
Yeah, you mentioned the Pilates thing. I like that too. The sounds like, "Isn't this why you do Pilates?" She's like, "This is hard." Like, it was really some genuine moments through it where it was. But I love the daughter. They like the moment where the daughter's like on this pyramid in the middle of the room, and it's really slick. It's really steep, and she can't really hold on. But they're trying to push down this obelisk thing. And she just decides to just go for it, like sacrifice herself and push this obelisk over so that they could move on. The drama of that whole moment, I think, was my highlight.
They should have played
of the episode.
Piano music. It was beautiful. She's like, "I'm going to sacrifice myself." She should have said, "I love you," before she joked.
But they kept referencing it like it was so stupid and still somehow funny, right? As they're like, "We'll make her sacrifice worth it," as they're like moving on. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I might watch the whole season. It kind of.
So once again, it's a dumb show, but you have to know that it's dumb, and if you go along with it, it's very fun.
I like the comparison to Wipeout, because that was what I felt with Wipeout too. Was
yeah.
Actually, before A&W, Wipeout was my first true love, and I can't go back to it. A&W kind of ruined Wipeout for me because I see the lack of skill and just randomness that happens on there. I'm like, these obstacles suck.
Hey, Jessie Graff was on Wipeout and she didn't get through, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Even the best.
That's because there's so much randomness. Like, you can't account for so much of it that it's like, it's less about skill and just, well, I mean, there are skill components, but yeah.
There's a lot of luck involved, yeah.
For sure. All right. Anything else you want to add on The Floor is Lava?
I hate the triplets.
All right. I think we covered that part. Yeah, check it out. Netflix. If you have it, check it out. I think it's worth a look. I feel kind of bad. Like, I almost wanted to cover the whole season, but then I feel like you would not want to. So
no, I'm good.
it would have actually made it more fun almost to have you hating on it week after week.
Got better things to do. Just
True enough. So if that means we've covered both Sasuke and Floor is Lava, we are down to 20 questions now.
Oh, load. Okay. Well, let's take a shot for this one.
Oh, God.
This is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Just so everybody can't cringe and like just hate life, I think you should go first in terms of like guessing. That way we can actually have like somebody actually has a chance before just the train wreck is that is going to be me trying this. But here, let's take the shot first, I guess.
Yeah, I already did. Oh,
that one wasn't as bad, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But
oh boy.
Oh, I just realized I actually need to think of somebody. Oh boy.
You know what's funny is when we first started getting ready to record this episode, and I said I wasn't quite ready. I didn't mean all the technical issues that I wasn't expecting. I meant that I didn't have a person, and I did pick one, and I feel like I'm pretty ready for you. But as far as that goes, but you don't have one, literally.
I mean, I don't think of this stuff, man. Anybody that knows, prepared. I don't take notes. I just go with the flow. You know? Let's see.
And then you offered to go first. That's
Warrior. Let's look up some competitors.
All right, so I'll filibuster as you find
you go ahead.
a ninja here. For those that don't, for those that follow us on Twitter, man, oh man, the alcohol's kicking in. I actually have my own personal Twitter now. I didn't want to tweet out non-ninja stuff after years of using the Ninja Podcast one. So a Ninja Podcast is the one for our Armchair Ninja Podcast, but you can follow me now as IS Specialist as well. And so you'll see some random stuff there. And one thing I'm working on right now to get to more ninja related stuff is I'm going to start tweeting out some stuff about building that infamous ninja board game that we talked about a while back. I've been doing some video game development, just kind of learning in my spare time, just making little simple, essentially, they're like Flash games if you're familiar with those. But I'm going to try to make that board game into a standalone game so that you don't have to go out and buy this other stuff that I had it wrapped around before. So everybody can play it and everybody can try it out.
Yeah. So let's create a ruling that this has to be like a well-known ninja at this point. Let's not get any like nitty-gritty, like weird offshoots. Like this ninja, we should definitely know. How about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was kind of implied, I think, in the past. But yes, last year you finally beat me with the Nate Burkhalter. That was just mean.
Hey, I had to win one, man. And I almost lost still, so.
Which I do feel kind of bad because I should have really got that one. I still feel like I should have got that one.
Yeah.
But yes,
to be
you
fair,
definitely know this person that I picked.
Yeah, and you would know this person that I picked. Here's a spoiler, it's not going to be this person. I almost went with Cameron Baumgartner, and I was like, oh, well.
Dude.
That's not fair.
Oh my God.
It's not to that level, so you'll know this person.
I let the Nate one go because, I did the Alyssa Beard one in like 2 guesses, so I was like, it's like fair enough.
All right. So I got the ninja ready to go, my man.
All right. It's yes or no questions. So
yeah. Should I be writing notes or you? I guess it'd be you this time, right?
Oh, geez, yeah, that's right. I'll bring up a notepad. Can I type right now? Bear with us, everyone. Okay, is it a male ninja?
Let me check here, and yes, looks like this is a male human being.
Did this person compete on the latest season of ANW?
Yes.
Has this person been to stage 3?
Oh man, that's a good question. Hang on here.
That's the tough part.
Let me look this up quick.
I forget how much of a pain this episode is to edit. I'll try to narrow some of these down a little bit, so you guys aren't waiting as much silence as there really is. So if it sounds like we're coming up with our answers really quickly, it's not always true. It sometimes takes us a while to find out
what stage did you say?
Stage 3.
Okay. No.
Oh, never been to stage 3. Interesting. Or
at least according to NinjaGuide.com. If I get this wrong, shame on them.
Shout out to NinjaGuide.com. They are a godsend for this contest.
They're very helpful. Yeah.
All right. Has this person competed on more than 4 seasons?
Yes.
trying to change up the questions. We always do the same questions. Does this person have... I feel like they'll have brown hair, really. Like, I don't know if it's really going to narrow it down for me any.
Yeah, go with the most common hair color. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, really. Is this ninja known for going fast?
I
wouldn't
yes.
say
I would say so, yeah.
known for going fast. All right.
Give that like a yes and a no. I don't want it to be...
I'll say known
this
for going
ninja can go fast.
relatively
Yeah.
fast. Can go fast.
Like, if they were on, like, Ninja versus Ninja, I'm sure they would go fast.
Okay. More than 4 seasons. Was in the latest season. Did this person compete on either Team Ninja Warrior or Ninja versus Ninja?
Yes.
And this is the part of this. This is the underappreciated part of these episodes, I gotta say, is I am feeling every bit of the alcohol that we've drank.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is getting really hard.
Just looking at the stats, I was like, man, I don't remember any of this. So I'm just like, yeah. I'm so screwed.
Okay, so they're running Ninja Ninja thing. 1, 3. On the latest season. That one kind of messes with me a bit, to be honest. But they haven't been to stage 3.
If you ask the right questions, you'll get this very quickly.
I feel like that, but I gotta figure out what those questions are. And I really expected the stage 3 thing to narrow it down for me a bit. And now it's like opened it up in a way that I wasn't expecting.
There's many avenues to where you can narrow it down quite a bit.
Yep, and I just gotta figure.
If that helps.
Not really. Who's only gone to stage 2, competed in the recent seasons? I'm like drawing. I can't even think of names. Like we're so out of it at this point.
I know, man.
It's like normally I'm like flashing too many names to narrow down. Now it's like, who's a ninja? Who actually competes in the show now? Okay, let's go with. Okay, it has been to stage 3. Everybody I think of that's a famous ninja has been to stage 3. We had so many people open up recently. I need a couple of names. I need to come up with a couple of names so that I can help narrow it down. All right, I'm going to ask the hair thing. Does this competitor have brown hair?
Yes, or at least dark hair. I don't know if it's black or brown, but you know what I mean. Like they've got the dark hair.
Brown or black hair. Does this competitor have short hair?
No. I would say no.
Not short hair. Not like they don't use clippers on their hair.
Yeah, like they don't have a fade or anything like that.
I'll say not super short hair. So that is 8 questions so far.
Looking up a current photo of them, being like, did I miss anything? But
do they? Are they known for an item of apparel?
Item of apparel. Known for it? No.
Damn. And that includes anyone that was first drew our attention because of their apparel in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'm getting at Gene Ninja here if it's not clear.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know why. I thought you were talking about thinking about like the hot dog and all that stuff, you know, like.
No, I was thinking of Genie Pants, to be honest, but I'm not asking that question, just to be clear whether it's him or not. But I would say that if that was I would call that
I was considering Thomas Stillings because I was like, yo, I mean, I know how to answer some questions about him, so. But
I think Dark Hair hasn't been to stage 3. That doesn't leave me a whole lot. Who that we talk about that's a prominent ninja. Oh boy. Oh, this is painful. Not short. Not super short hair, at least. Is the competitor Caucasian?
No. Good question.
No.
That narrows the field.
It does.
Especially if you put 2 and 2 together of not Caucasian, but not short hair.
Yeah, that's where I'm like leaning towards here. I'm trying to think of who. It's like every stupid question that I want to come up with, like it's just one competitor, so I might as well just ask if it's that competitor. Do you mean like that's the hard part where it's like, is this competitor above average height? Like, why don't I just ask? Is it John Alexis? Right? Like,
just ask a question where it kind of like narrows it down.
Yeah,
know?
exactly. But you need to gather up like 3 or 4 ninjas to do that, and it's like I only have one. Like, do I just ask the name? God, I'm just gonna ask. Is it John Alexis Jr.?
Yay!
Woo!
You got it, man. I was about to say, like, if you ask if this Ninja Warrior won, Ninjas versus Ninja, or in this past season, were they not shown? Or not, it doesn't even have to say not shown, but were they known for, being digested? There's ways of getting there.
You have been on both sides of these questions, and you know damn well when you're the one on the hot seat, it's like impossible to think of the questions. It's like
I know it sucks, man. But
you don't know who you're trying to narrow it down to.
I was rooting for you. I'm like, come on, man, you got this.
So I got it on the 11th question.
Great job, honestly.
Thank you. All right, so I guess this is your turn.
I guess I'll just type the notes on my computer because I don't really have paper around me. So
I'll type them up. And should we do one last shot?
Oh yeah, just screw me up even more. Let's do this.
Every advantage I can take.
Salute, my man.
Feeling every bit of it. Damn.
Okay, that's weird because that one I felt a lot. I don't know what's going on anymore. That was gross. Just tastes like acid, man. Like, who... Bless your hearts of whoever drinks tequila, but oh my god, it's gross. Like, why? And this isn't some cheap tequila either. This is like a special fancy tequila that, my brother-in-law got me.
That's the funny part. You showed it to me at the beginning, like complaining before we even recorded, and I was like thinking it was cheap tequila, but you're like, no, it's not at all.
No, this is supposed to be like some fancy, expensive tequila. It's disgusting. But like all tequila is disgusting, so I don't know.
Oh well, clean up the cupboards.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right,
I can tell you right now, my wife is like, I will never drink that, so you have fun.
All right. Okay. Ask away, and I will do my best to answer. Actually, I better bring up.
Oh, this is gonna be a hot mess, but let's do this, guys. Buckle up.
I'm taking it easy on you. This should. I mean, it's not. I will see.
Oh,
yes.
Don't ever underestimate the level of how much I could suck in this game.
It's harder than you think, guys. I will give that to Bijan. It is definitely.
Well, I struggled for. I struggled for. Oh my god! I struggled for some really obvious ones. Like it's pretty bad. And what's really sad is I'm forgetting their names, which is real sad. But
considering I was the one that picked them, I don't remember who it was either. So it's fine.
Daniel Gill was one.
Oh right.
It's like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, there's a few. I was like, oh boy. Okay. Is this ninja male?
Yes.
Is this ninja over the age of 30?
Yes. Why didn't I think the age thing? That's a good one.
Is this ninja Caucasian?
Yes.
Okay. Did this ninja compete in the last season of ANW?
No. I don't believe so.
Okay.
And Ninja God seems to back up on that.
Has this ninja competed on stage 3?
Yes.
Has this ninja competed on stage 4?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Let's see. Does this ninja have insanely large forearms?
No.
No forearms. Okay. Does this ninja look like Jesus?
No.
Oh, man. All right, who else?
You have got...
Is this ninja... No, is this a ninja's name that I shall not say?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was like, yo.
That would be
All right.
awful. Like, can you imagine if I did that? That would just be such a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, I'll be like, all right, pouring out some more shots for that. Okay, who else made it stage 4? Did Sean Bryan make it? All right, well, is this ninja, like, known for being religious? Wait, no, because I just thought Daniel Gill's also religious. Wait, Daniel Gill was in last season, though. Wait, didn't compete in stage, wasn't on last season. Sean Bryan was on last.
Now I feel like this is... Now I feel like
Okay,
my easy pick is probably not so easy. I'm wondering how many people this is confusing that's listening to.
Stage 4.
Just the order and the way that you've asked these questions. It actually might not be a bad one.
Yeah, I'm sure it's obvious, but I'm just trying to think.
I don't think it is that obvious, to be honest.
All right, stage 4. Am I overthinking the stage 4, maybe?
I want to clarify, but I feel like it gives away too much if I do.
It's fine. No worries. But they weren't on last season. I want to make sure. This isn't a question.
They weren't on last season.
Okay. What's up?
I feel like it's mean if I don't clarify a little bit. I will say... Oh, geez. How do I phrase this? They were not on stage 4 in the regular season of ANW.
Oh, that's not fair. We're talking about ANW proper. Okay. Well, that opens things up. It doesn't make it obvious, if that helps.
Right.
But that I'm glad you made that clarification.
Yeah, because I am like, to not say
who
that.
else has been on this show? Like, I'm all thinking back to the original season. I'm like,
right,
did I miss somebody?
Because I'm thinking like stage, you're gonna have it down to like 5, like whatever it is, 3 or 4 names.
Yeah,
like this.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
I'm glad you did that because that would have been mean. and to make it fair, it's not obvious to me. But let's see. Going down the line, stage 4 may have been on that stuff. What's the guy's name? Okay, is this ninja over the age of 40? Because I know he's over 40.
Yes.
Okay. Plus, now it's the question of what's that guy's name? Okay, let me clarify even more. Did this ninja injure himself and then maybe a season or 2 later retire?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's more of the question of what's his name. Hang on now. Oh my god, I'm terrible at names. Oh man, what's his name? Bro, I don't know his name. What's his name? Hang on.
I know you know who it is.
I know who it is, but
do you want me to just say who it is, and we can move on with our lives?
I'll give the description. All right, he's amazing. He was known earlier seasons for his prowess in terms of gymnastics. He's over 40. He was known for his age. He retired. He broke his arm on the double dipper at some point, and I am shame for me. I forgot his name, but that guy.
Yeah, it's Travis Rosen.
Dang it! Travis Rosen, yes.
Yeah, he started in ANW2. It was his ankle or leg, I should say, that he broke.
I thought it was his arm, but that's right, it was.
Yeah, we had very similar injuries, actually. And he tweeted out once I tweeted my my own injury that was very similar, around the same age.
Yeah.
He, yeah. Yeah, that took you 12 questions. I got it in 11.
Well, Mr. Rosen, nothing but love. I apologize for forgetting your name, but I forget everybody's name.
Honestly, that's weird because we normally take forever to do this 20 questions. Like it takes like an hour of us going back and forth, and we did that in like record time.
Bro, were you dreading the part where I was like, "Oh my god, here comes the next 2 hours of us just sitting here,
oh
thinking,
God, this is gonna take forever, and it's gonna be just a nightmare." And we crushed it.
I like
both
this
of us.
version. Yeah, I like this version better, where we're not doing super fringe like that one competitor that competed like twice.
Dude, I do not pick fringe ones for you anyway. You just happen to do a really good job this time.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. Travis Rosen, I mean, he's good stuff. So.
Yeah, I think he was like, but he said stage 4. I'm like, I can't say no. He has competed on stage 4. Like, I don't know what to say.
To be fair, I would have made the clarification. I mean, it gives it away, but I'm like, I would have said no for ANW proper. And yeah, that gives it away, but at least it would have been like, all right, well.
That might have been a better way.
Yeah.
But it still would have kind of made it clear that it was not during like A&W proper, so then it was like,
yeah. But to be fair, I would have sat there for an hour being like, who the heck am I forgetting?
Yeah,
did Levi Muhlenberg like randomly make it a stage 4 and I just completely shut it from my brain or something? Like,
you're like, Makoto Nagano? Like what?
Yeah.
Wow, that's it. We crushed it. We're through.
Nice, man. What can I say? We're just so amazing. We know all the ninjas. We know all their names.
Yeah,
we're just too good.
Up in all of it. Doesn't matter what state we're in. It doesn't matter how much we've had to drink. Well, it's solely to crush this game.
We got it.
All right. Is there anything else we need to cover? I think that's it, right?
Nah, we're good, man. Just give let everybody know what's going on in your life because it's been a minute.
It has. I got a new kitten, and that's all I can talk about lately.
Yay! What's its name?
You would think I would mention, my daughter's expecting my second grandchild, and it's going to be a girl.
Yay.
That should be my focus. But instead of like, I have a kitten, and she's adorable. Her name is Luna, and she just has stolen my heart.
You know what? I need to go to your Instagram and look up these.
Oh,
you got pictures of Luna?
I should be putting her up on Instagram. I've just been I put them on Facebook and stuff, but I will put some up on Instagram.
I'm a Facebook stalk you right now, man.
She is good. Totally. She sleeps right. I wake up in the morning to her just licking my nose and just right in my face first thing in the morning.
Super cute.
I got her because I haven't gotten honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten a pet for myself. Ever. Every pet I've ever gotten was caved in to get the wife get a pet, caved in to let the kid get a pet, or my parents brought home a pet. This the first one was you know what? I want a kitten. And I went and got a kitten.
Live your best life, man.
And
cats are amazing.
So I was like, you know what? Christmas 2020, we're going to end the year on a positive note. And it was the best decision I ever made. She completely melted my heart. And she's won over the whole house.
Cute. It's I forget the name, tri-coated or tricolored.
Yeah, she's calico.
Yeah, she's super cute. Got brown spots, black and white, and she's super adorable looking right here. Yeah, and also congratulations to the family. New granddaughter. I'm hearing that's amazing.
Coming down the line in June.
That's exciting, my man.
Yes, very exciting. And the little boy, my grandson Hudson, is growing up. Just got absolutely spoiled for Christmas, so that was interesting. How about you? How's your life? How's married life treating you?
Married life's great. I love my wife to death. She's amazing. She cooks a lot of healthy meals for me. Sometimes she lectures me for 30 minutes if I bring home Taco Bell, but otherwise it's amazing. Pluses and minuses of having a nutritionist wife.
You just hear about that little pooch you got going there right now?
Yeah, I got a little baby pooch, for a COVID or a Rona pooch, I guess. It's I'm not big or anything, but I like to say it's a centimeter, out from whatever. But my wife has a 6-pack, so she talks a lot of trash, being like, "Oh, look at your pooch, let me rub the booty belly," and I'm like, "All right, whatever." Once the gym opens up again, I am just gonna be running like forever to not ever hear her talk crap about me again. I'm just over it.
I love it. I love it. But, she gives you a lot of trash about it. It's just hilarious to me.
Yeah, I look forward to the day where I actually do get a belly. Like it's weird because I haven't gained any weight. I'm still like 155. I haven't gained any weight, but it's just belly size, just a little bit, more out. And man, if I ever get fat, like it's gonna be a long time. Like it's gonna be rough because she's just gonna talk so much trash.
I have gained,
but whatever.
As we talked about before we started this, like I gained and lost 30 pounds over this COVID crisis. Like I gained it all up at the beginning. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stock the pantry with everything. Ate it all, gained it all, and then lost it all in the last few months. So
most important is you lost it, bro.
I've brought it back down.
No disrespect to anybody that hasn't, but that's so awesome that you were able to.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. I hope everyone's doing great. Miss talking to you all. Feel free to reach out. And if you would like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast and at IS Specialist on Instagram and Twitter. Actually, I at IS Specialist just on Twitter. Bijan, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, but primarily Instagram at this point. At Bijan151. That is BIJAN 151.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and have a very happy New Year.
Woo! Let's go, guys! 2021, it's going to be amazing. Peace, love, deuces, and all the warmest air hugs, virtual hugs. I love you all.